We are go, boys. Mission go. I don't know. I don't have any intros every stream, but
I noticed
you
that
just
because
throw it in. You just throw it
I
in and you
actually
go.
like I actually so like before I went to go see Dune, I actually listened to your guys like previous
That was a while
like
back.
review of Dune, and you
Yeah.
have like a whole like intro that you do, and now we just don't do anything.
Yeah, we just get right into the heart of it. You know, people just want to hear us talk. What our opinions are. They know what they don't need to hear. You know, the year, all that stuff. They know. They know we're talking Coens, we're talking No Country. You know.
Honestly, you know whenever you click on an episode of a podcast, you know what you're getting into. I mean, you don't need to
The title's usually
hash out
there,
the
right?
blah. Yeah.
We're in the
Yeah, just
TikTok
read the
age,
fucking
motherfuckers.
title.
We've already wasted like too much time. We need to just.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
just go.
fine. All right.
Yeah.
What are we doing
Anyways.
first? Just White Man Can't Jump? Let's
Yeah,
just
we
get
got
the
White Man
movie chest out
Can't
of the
Jump.
way.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of Dune later. That's probably the main feast, I'd say, for combo. But yeah, ease it in with a little White Man Can't Jump movie chest pick. Yeah, I mean, I actually was the last person to rate this one on Letterboxd, so I did see all of your guys' rankings, and I gotta say, I was kind of shocked.
This movie
I was like,
fucking sucked. Just
wow,
You thought
I
it
like
was
this
good?
movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, I liked
It
it.
was-
I'm not saying it was like I enjoyed watching it, but at the end, I'm just like, what did I just
it was like
watch?
two
Like,
separate
nothing happened.
movies
Just a
Like,
couple
happening at
bros
the
playing
same time.
basketball. You know,
Yeah, that's the fun part. But then you have
All
Gloria's storyline, which their dynamic doesn't even make any sense. Where does
Yeah.
Jeopardy come into play? And then she gets on
That was
Jeopardy, but then she's like, "Fuck you, man! You're gonna spend my money."
Dude.
But like, she wouldn't have that money if it wasn't for him getting her on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
So like, fuck you, Gloria.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. Ultimately,
She
like
gave him
Woody
$2 grand.
Harrelson, like he had no growth throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
He was virtually a static character because, like, at the end, he's like, "Oh, I guess I could get a job," but like, you don't ever actually see him get a job because that's the very
No,
end of the
he's-
fucking movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's still playing basketball at the end. He's you know,
I mean,
he's the
yeah,
same
because
guy.
he fucking loves
Guaranteed
playing
to win.
basketball. I get
Right.
it, but like, I don't. And like, look, Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes like back and forth for the most part was like pretty fucking good. Sometimes, to be honest, it got like a bit old, but like most of the
A
time,
little bit, yeah.
yeah, that was like the highlight of the movie. I feel like.
The
For
best
sure.
parts were the basketball when they're playing basketball together, and then some of their banter back and forth. Those were the
Yeah,
best parts. Other than
exactly,
that,
yeah.
the movie just sucked. It was a
I mean,
mess.
that's all the
And
movie's trying to be,
I'm
though, and
kinda
that's kind of why I
wondering,
loved it.
Have you guys
know, like,
seen Kingpin?
it's a while back. It's where he's the
So
bowler,
it's like
right?
a different '90s movie with Woody Harrelson. Yeah, about bowling, but it's like kind of a similar plot. I feel like it's like basically hustling, but it's like with bowling and like
Is there Jeopardy involved, or
I don't know. I mean, well, no. Okay,
Was it
I
after
guess,
White
like,
Man Can't Jump?
I guess it's not really that related, other than like Woody Harrelson sports movie, like where he's kind of a shady character. But like, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
If it was after White Man Can't Jump, I feel like it was like
it was after.
I feel
I'm
like it was
pretty
trying to
sure
maybe capitalize on some
That
of
was
this magic. Then
1996. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't-
it's still a decent movie. I think Bill Murray is in it too.
yeah, that sounds about right.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. What did you rate it then, Matt?
I'm gonna give it 4 stars. You know, yeah.
Interesting.
I just like.
You
I
know,
mean,
read
it just goes for it, and it doesn't really care to like do much other than what it's like. It's just like a chill movie. Like, this is a movie I'm gonna put on several times throughout my life and just toss on, you know, and just enjoy the fucking vibe of it for sure.
It was like very fun 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Absolutely.
so 90s. It was like, damn.
It's
I
one
can't
of.
believe you guys had fun watching this.
Why was it so
I had a
draining?
good
Like,
time.
what was the? Because this is like when I didn't want to like. Sorry, I just didn't want to do like a 1 for 1. But it's like it's got some Tarantino 90s like just throwing random shit at the wall with each other and just like playing off each other. So like what yeah, why was it so bad?
Honestly, the dynamic between Woody and Gloria and that whole storyline just kind of ruined the whole movie because for one, it didn't have to exist. It could have just been Wesley and Woody Harrelson's dynamic. I mean, Wesley Snipes' whole family and all that storyline, that was fine. But I just felt like I don't know, there was the Stookie brothers coming after him, which was fine. But like the way I interpreted what she was explaining was the Stookie brothers are coming after him because of something she did, right? She bought the car or something like that. It was a piece of shit, but then she said she wasn't giving their money back, so they bet on Woody Harrelson. He didn't throw the game. but for some reason it's his fault for the money problem, which I guess I could see that, but didn't she start it?
I didn't catch that part. I'll admit that.
Because I feel like I lost the entire thread throughout the movie with just all of the money shit. Like I feel like it didn't really make a lot of sense.
So what else bothered me was she was saying, "Get out there and hustle, honey. Get us that money until I get on Jeopardy." But then when he wants to hustle more for real money, she's like, "Yo, that's my money you're hustling away. Come on now." Like,
well, she said he was
your
going to get a
fucking
job, get it like a nice
Yeah.
suit or whatever, and he used it for gambling again.
I feel like
he's
there were certain
planning
points
on-
though. It seems like at the beginning she was down for him hustling.
she was.
Yeah, but then you lose 5 times in a row, and it's like, bro,
she
come on.
switched to being like, "Hey, get a job," because I feel like she did tell him to get a job at least once.
She did, but then they were like, I don't know, the way they treated each other was just so weird to me. I mean, maybe that was
Yeah.
supposed to be cute and playful, but it just felt like when he told her to shut up in the car and spit out her gum, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yikes. And then they get back to the hotel and just fuck, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess, sure.
Hey, man.
But
Put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
didn't feel like so like disingenuous to me. It kind of felt, I didn't feel like it was like the best relationship I've ever seen, obviously, but it felt enough truthfulness there to be like, yeah, I buy it. But
Yeah.
But then
It was
Woody
just me.
Harrelson, at the end of it all, he had to explain to us like the dynamic between them if we didn't get it, which clearly I didn't get it. Their whole chemistry. He was like, I would always mess up, but then she'd come back and blah blah blah. So we were supposed to be like, oh, okay, I get it. This was the final straw. But like, I don't know. I couldn't.
But then
he
he's
didn't
got
get
his
anything.
bro, dude. He doesn't need a woman anymore. He's
But
got his
did they
fucking bro
even
to
like
play some
each other?
b-ball with.
Did they
I mean,
even
that's
like
the-
each other?
Their
they loved each
relationship.
other.
Did
They
they?
hate- it's a
though?
love-hate thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sarah was
I
watching
didn't
this
know
with
the
me, and
entire
she was
fucking
like,
movie.
It's
Like,
a rivalry.
the Sarah looked over at me. She's like, "Are they supposed to be friends or what's
like
happening?"
right,
I'm
I
like,
could not
"What
tell
the
the
fuck?"
entire time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they fuck each other over,
Multiple
on
times.
different times. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like kind of a one-upmanship a little bit. I mean, that's at the beginning of this movie, I felt like a feeling of like, I don't know about this one. And then they start playing basketball. Woody Harrelson starts playing b-ball. He's like fucking, they're doing the little shoots and stuff like that. And then it just dawned on me like how simple this movie was, and it's just like how petty it all is, and like I don't know, I just really appreciate like going for that type of vibe. But
I dug the
Most movies-
tournament in that sense when they were just like, just pay these suckers and let's get the fuck out of here.
yeah,
And they're like, oh, this is for equality and all that shit. And they're just like, fuck these guys.
right.
See, I love
What I did-
sports movies,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I love like the hype stuff of sports movies. I don't even like watching sports, but I like sports movies. This one, I don't know. The best parts were the sports, but other than that, I would just kind of like get to the next like cool slow-mo shots of them passing balls to each other. Like throw some balls in my face.
What
Come on.
about when like they're in like the church parking lot playing basketball and Wesley Snipes like loses on purpose and then
Yeah.
like Woody Harrelson leaves and he's so defeated and Wesley
hurt.
Snipes like turns to him genuinely is like, I'm sorry, Billy. And then like he just leaves. And then the next scene you see them together, like Wesley Snipes
like, I
has
gripped
no
in your
remorse.
ass.
He's like,
Get outta
what
here.
did you expect? And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? So he didn't have any remorse. Like, what the fuck is
No.
going on? Like, do
Well,
they care about each other or not?
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's like the slow reveal because like obviously Woody Harrelson's like he's a decent guy. I thought we were friends, and then like his chick is like, dude, he just played you, and then they go over there and it's like the revelations come, obviously, but. No, I get that. He's definitely
I
like
guess it's just like
two sides of
once
the coin
you
there.
do that, where you like fuck somebody over like that, like even
Yeah.
from the viewer's perspective, like you have no idea. It like totally fucks up the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it was
True.
built on Woody Harrelson fucking him over though. So like
I mean, kinda. Just
it's almost like an established
passion
like
was-
friendship in that way at the beginning, right? Like when
I mean,
Woody Harrelson
Wesley
walks away,
Snipes-
Wesley Snipes
like,
give him
Wesley
the little
Snipes
half
fucked
smirk.
him over way more than like Woody Harrelson fucked him over. All right. Like
It's
at the
true.
beginning,
Wh-
Woody Harrelson got like maybe like $50 or something.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was like not that much money.
Yeah, and it was like $5,000 or whatever, $2,000 or
Yeah.
whatever.
And the thing of it all too, like Woody just kind of rolled in and he hustled for 50 bucks, but then Wesley came to him and like sought him out and was like, I'm gonna fucking
Had a fucking
Yeah, he
guy
shamed him, bro.
plan,
He
like-
shamed him on the court. He's got to get back at him.
I just
This
I
is
don't
his
know.
legacy. He's
You
fucking
know, I
defending.
get gambling is an addiction. People have problems with that, but like once he won that tournament, the fact that he was just like gambled all of it,
On a
him
dunk.
being able to
Immediately.
dunk.
Yeah,
On a
Yeah.
dunk.
that was crazy.
I'm like,
Yeah.
brother,
Yeah.
and to the friendship point, Wesley Snipes' character didn't have to take the money,
Yeah.
but he did.
That
I half
that
expected
was
him to
kind
be
of
like,
fucked. After that, I'm like, what am I watching? Like, why? Like,
There was
Yeah.
40 minutes left after that.
Hey, they tell you in the movie there's rules. There's different rules on the street, and
Yeah,
when you
there's-
ask for
there's
money, you
honor
don't
to
ask for
hustle.
money. You gotta understand the street level of it all. Okay, if you're not there, you're not playing b-ball every day on the courts. Maybe this one doesn't ring as true. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know
I
how
actually write
true,
down.
how valid this next statement I'm going to say is, but I did read that this is one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite movies, and
That's
that
hilarious.
I heard that.
That
Oh
checks
my
out for me.
god!
So-
Actually,
That's
I could
fucking
like
hilarious.
see that, like just weirdly. Like,
Oh.
I mean, it's like Wes. it's
Kubrick's like,
it's
"This
like
is a
his like yeah, it's like his like guilty pleasure
conflict.
movie. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I could see that. I mean, there's great scenes otherwise too. I mean, the Jeopardy of it all, I didn't actually mind because to me, it's like her parallel story is like her achieving her greatness at a different event type of like
Yeah.
her just like chiseling information away while Woody Harrelson's just like b-balling away, But
It was fun watching them in the crowd too, like
yeah,
being like, "Who the
Going
fuck
nuts."
knows?" Yeah, like yeah.
yeah, for sure. And then especially I think one of my favorite scenes is like the robbery scene. It's just kind of like tossed in there, maybe like 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
The dude goes in to rob the store, and then he
And
ends
then
up
he
like
just
selling him the
sells the
gun,
gun.
and then he says he's getting robbed.
That was pretty.
Like that was
good,
just
yeah.
a great scene. Like there's moments of that without the basketball too. I'd say have fun.
To the Jeopardy, back to the Jeopardy part of it all.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson is supposed to back her up on her dream, right? She's sitting around the house or apartments or motels, wherever they're fucking staying, and he's out there hustling because she wants him to make some money, right? And he's just supposed to support her in her dream, but his dream is to play basketball, hustle for good money, and she can't like. Where's
I
the?
guess like
Where's
if
the
you
I did
support?
half
lost,
expect her to
you're-
like give her Jeopardy winnings to be like, okay, now we can hustle since I'm making bank. She's like planning to be the champ of Jeopardy. I think
Well,
I was
now
like,
he wants to be a basketball
So it's
champ or
like
some
back alley
shit.
Jeopardy matches.
That's all I was like, yeah, she's like feeding the game. I don't know, like let's make more
Yeah.
money off this Jeopardy thing.
I guess
They
if your
just keep
dude
it
lost
going.
$5,000 on a dunk, I'd like emotionally I would
true.
switch. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true. That's true.
I don't know.
That would, yeah, that hurts.
If Woody Harrelson's fucking up as much as it shows that he is or whatever, like a switch is inevitable. But like,
Yeah, I guess the my whole what it seems as I'm discovering, I just don't like any of the characters. I think they're all stupid.
that's a fair criticism. I mean, if they're very unlikable, but in a way they're endearing to me, and they're both like in their, I guess, agreement level of the conflict. I don't know. It's just like they both bought into it immediately and then continued on it. But
I guess I would have liked it better if I knew if they were actually friends and if they just like hustled together the whole movie. Like, just give me that. Give
but
me a
maybe
good buddy movie.
that's why it's Stanley Kubrick's favorite movie, because it doesn't give you that answer.
I mean,
Because at the
like,
end they're throwing the ball back and forth. Is it playful or is it aggressive? It's
I don't
somewhere in
know.
the middle.
I love
right?
how there's like little bits too, where like when it's like after Woody
Stanley
Harrelson
Kubrick.
finds out that he's like Wesley Snipes is fucking him over, he goes to his apartment and like they're watching basketball and he's like in the apartment with all the other dudes.
Yeah.
They're like complaining and shit, but then like something happens. in the
It, like,
game, and they're like
turns.
all like into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of like funny too.
That was a great,
It's like
yeah,
I don't know.
like
They
dovetail
are all,
of
like,
that
in
scene.
agreement about shit or like
Yeah,
I don't know, into
sure.
the same shit.
the love of the game.
I've seen a few Wesley Snipes movies now, and honestly, I think this might be
Blade.
like his favorite character. Blade.
Blade
I
2.
watched all of Spike Lee's movies, and he's in quite a
Blade
few of Spike Lee's
Trinity.
movies. He's just fantastic in all three. But I gotta say, this is like my favorite role. It's his most fun role. It's his most like natural role, and he's
He
not
was
like
my favorite
doing too much in
character.
it.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed his performance, like him more than Woody Harrelson for sure. I thought he brought a lot of life. Like it was, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, it was clear to me that like Woody was bouncing off of him a lot. I felt
Yeah.
like, like it was
Definitely.
like the ad libbing or whatever. The
Mhm.
energy was definitely like guided by Wesley.
For sure.
Made me want to watch more because I haven't seen much of Wesley Snipes, but
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't
yeah.
even seen
Yeah.
Blade. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like
Wow.
maybe half the first one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Blade 2, I think, is the best, honestly, but that's because
Honestly,
Del Toro
I think I've
steps in.
seen the third one just because it was on TV like all the fucking time.
I
Yeah,
remember
that
like
makes
catching
sense.
bits and
Blade
pieces.
2 and Blade.
And Blade
Shit.
Trinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never Blade 1. Just the last two.
Yeah, they didn't have rights to the first one or something. I don't know. I just want to also say the line "this shit ain't regulation." That line has been spoken on every basketball court or every like field that you missed a
Yeah.
shot on for generations after this
That's
movie.
true.
Like that's a fantastic line, and now you get to see where it came from.
Is
And
it
also-
though?
That's a classic sport.
It's a classic line.
You don't think anybody said that before this?
No, I think this
Just
like
popularized. it.
yeah, it definitely made it something. And I gotta say, there is a remake with Jack Harlow, but and just
Yeah.
imagine how lame
Did it
that
come out like
version
last
is.
year?
Come on,
It's, like, very-
yeah, I think it was
very new.
recent.
And
I haven't seen
was
it.
bad?
Don't want to see it. I don't want to see
Yeah,
it.
like
That was-
I saw
Yeah.
that it existed, and I'm like, why would you remake this movie like today?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I put most every movie on
I
my
feel
list,
like
and that's
most
when
of
I
the
just had
charm
no.
was from the era. Like,
Mhm.
Right.
like not today. It would just be like sad.
You know, they're gonna be. I was like imagining in my head and just Jack Harlow doing like Woody Harrelson shtick in this movie, basically beat for beat,
Yeah.
and it's just like a modernized like rivalry on the court. Jack Harlow thinks he's some fucking b-baller or something. I don't know.
I can just picture like the
This movie's way
political
better. I already know that.
commentary that's like injected into the new one.
Yeah.
And this one just
Yeah.
feels like
That's
a basketball movie, you know? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It feels pretty LA in a way, and 90s LA in a
Mm.
in a way that like a lot of those movies feel like, but I don't know, it's not as like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as like it's more hopeful and it's more like it's upbeat. It's not as
Yeah.
like I can't find the word. It's not depressing, but like I can't find this word and it's pissing me off right now. Anyways, but it's like
still, man.
where you're like looking down on like something or like thinking something's a little more like harsh or bad than it
Condescending?
is.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
but it's just better. It's a 90s movie that feels fun and happy, and it's got racial tension in it still, but it's not like amplifying it into like dramatic ways, you know? So,
A good
Yeah.
balance.
yeah.
Mhm.
Take it too far.
But
Geeky white
yeah,
boys.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I was like, I could have given it more. I could have gave it 4.5. I think. I just really
What the
enjoyed
fuck?
it.
Man,
Okay.
what is
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
wrong? Find a fucking rating system, man. What the fuck?
It's
Where are
my
our
system.
standards?
I like
Yeah.
what? Yeah, where are our standards, dude? 4.5 for this shit?
It
Like,
all works
what
up
are
here,
we
man. You don't. It
doing?
just all the pieces
Let's
all
fucking
check
cancel
out.
the pod. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
All right. Agree to disagree. But what were your
I gave
guys'
it 3
ratings on it?
stars. All right, that's a solid movie. That's a solid
yeah.
rewatchable movie. All right,
I landed on
Fair.
3. I waffled between 3.5 and 3. I landed on 3.
I could go up to 3.5. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
I'm
not
feeling
that
it,
bad,
man.
is it? Huh?
Look, I enjoyed it. All right, I just don't think it's that good.
I
That's
had it
fair.
at 2.5, and I dropped it this morning because after I slept on it, woke up, and I was still angry about it. I was like, I'm never turning this back on. It's not even rewatchable. So yeah, 2
Alex,
stars.
is it because you're a white man that can't jump?
It might be. I don't know.
Just, I mean, damn, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Never tried before.
Yeah. I mean, that moment
To
though,
be
did it land
fair-
for you when Woody Harrelson goes for the fucking like slow mo
No.
dunk? It didn't land.
No,
really?
I saw it coming a mile away. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's going
Oh,
to
yeah.
dunk by the end of this movie because
yeah.
it is so fucking stupid. And I was like, yeah, anyway. No.
But the moment that sold it for
Put
me
on the
actually
moon
after
shoes.
is when they both land and then like you see Wesley Snipes like hyping up his boy like he fucking got the
Yeah.
like that's just
That's cool.
that's just some manly game shit right there, man.
Dude,
My,
it cracked
my
me up.
favorite
Yeah.
pass that they did was when Wesley bounced it off the backboard to the 3-point.
Oh hell yeah,
Woody
that was
Harrelson.
badass.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that was
enjoyed
sick.
that. That's about it.
I love when he was like he was betting on the dunk. And he's like, let me pump you up, dude. He's like gonna pump his
Yeah, I know what you do.
yeah. Yeah. The trash
Nice.
talk is definitely like very good in this. Like I feel like it definitely captures the whole like competitive edge, you know,
For sure.
sports stuff.
The street cred of it all too, you know.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, it was good. Felt real. But
Well-
decent movie.
Shall we move on then to something maybe we can all agree on, you know? Take the
Yeah.
anger out,
True.
go into some Coen shit.
Yes, please.
Yeah, what a movie.
Yeah, who's okay? So
Oh,
I'd seen this multiple times. Alex, you had, right?
I think I'd seen it a couple
Yeah.
times. This is like my
I
favorite.
hadn't
fourth.
seen it before.
Cool.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
Joe, let's get your first opinions since
Yeah,
I'm
please.
most curious, you know.
Man,
Yeah.
I watched it earlier today, and I feel like I was just like instantly into it. It like reminded me of so many different things, actually. Like it reminded me of kind of Breaking Bad, but like also it like reminded me of like David Fincher sometimes, or like weird Tarantino shit sometimes. But like also it was just like almost like a Western feel because it's in
Yeah.
like the desert kind of, but it's also like a noir movie almost. Like I don't know, it was just like really interesting
Well
and
said.
like I don't know, like I love how I just like was engaged like almost the whole time. It was really good. I
Absolutely.
don't know, I liked it a lot.
Tommy
Nice,
Lee
man.
Jones opening up with that monologue is like I could listen to that, put me to sleep at night. It's a little
Yeah.
dark, but I mean, put me to sleep at night listening to it. And then he closes it with another one. It's just it's
Yeah.
perfect. Bookends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's such a tight film. It's never loses your attention. The pacing is great. Probably one of my favorite Javier Bardem roles ever.
Yeah, dude, he's
Yeah.
so fucking
Dude,
good.
he's like chilling in this movie. It's
I love how
awesome.
he's just
Mhm.
carrying around the cow thing for the like the
Yeah.
whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Dude, like just that like shot when Tommy Lee Jones comes up to the fucking motel room door and he sees like the fucking deadbolt is like shot out of it, and then you see it just like flashes Javier Bardem like in the hotel room like behind the door kind of, but like I don't think it's at the same time, but it's like I don't know, it's just like so fucking eerie, like I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Almost
but-
like gives me like Psycho vibes almost. Like there's like with the motel room kind of shit. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
for sure. He puts he closes the shower curtain on the one dude and
Yeah.
fucking shoots him. Yeah, I mean, this was my favorite Coen for a long time, and I was really curious to see where it would land now we're lining them all up here. And I gotta say, it just takes the cake, man. I mean, it's just it's their best movie in my opinion.
It's the whole package.
Like I was wondering too, is like they're obviously like going for prestige here. You can feel it, like that they're trying to elevate the material in a way that they like there's no nonsense here that they might have in some other films. So at a certain point, it's like not like specifically a Coen movie in a way where it's like doesn't have their personality, I guess you'd say, but it's there obviously. But so I was like wondering, would I rather have like Big Lebowski or Fargo as the top, because that's like more encapsulating of like the Coen shtick. But this movie is just too well crafted. It's just too well like executed.
I think they're taking chunks of dialogue from the actual book, but reading the book and then watching the movie, you can. It's not just the dialogue, but I think it's how they direct their actors and how they like make them more charming than they are in the book and more interesting and more enjoyable to hang around with. Like the whole dynamic between Llewellyn and I can't remember her name.
His wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Llewellyn and his wife, Carla Jean. Yeah. When they like their dynamic together is just so much better in the movie, because I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly in the book she's like 18 and he's obviously a lot older, and it just feels weird in the book, but in the movie you can tell there's an age difference, but it doesn't matter, you don't feel it, and their chemistry is there, and it's just the
To be
way
honest,
that
the first time
they
I
have
saw
one
them,
scene
I'm like,
together,
all right,
too.
is this his daughter or is this
and
his
you're
fucking
instantly like, I don't know, you're there with them and you understand their relationship in that one scene,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it does establish it perfectly. And
So I think my whole point of that whole thing I just said was it still feels like it's a Coen's. It's got their touch.
It does.
I mean, even if they're taking stuff straight from the pages, I think they put their flair on it that makes it a lot more interesting than the book is.
They condensed it and like emphasized the right moments and parts and bits, and like I mean, obviously it's like cinematically perfected, I would honestly say, with Roger Deakins like at the helm in this one. Like I don't know, it's just so visually compelling, and like they even say a line in the movie where Tommy Lee Jones is like, or his partner buddy is like, "Oh, linear, good, it's pretty linear." And this movie is it's very linear, and just like one thing unfolds into the next, and it actually like impacts the next like thing that happens, and you can feel like the progression, and I think that's why it's so like immersive and engaging. is like you just like are with the 3 to 4 characters, watching them like tiptoe or like move around each other in different ways, and like
Yeah.
it's just so fucking good, man.
Yeah, it's like it almost feels like cat and mouse with
Oh yeah,
Javier and Llewellyn.
yep.
And I don't know, like there's so much like metaphorical stuff happening. Like I like after Tommy Lee's first monologue, and then like it cuts to Llewellyn like hunting. I was like, holy shit! Like I don't know, something just clicked in my brain where I was like, okay, and then Llewellyn's like basically being hunted himself later, and it's
Mhm.
like these guys are both like sort of like predator, right? They're both like
Mhm.
hunters, and it's like they're trying to outsmart each
Yeah.
other and
I
figure
mean,
stuff
because there's
out.
like
And
there's like
Yeah.
even like the shot because it's like in the day he's in the same spot as like his truck on the hill, like looking down onto like where the shit happened. And then
Mhm.
at night when he comes back, he's like down in the shit where it happened, and you see like up his truck, like on top of the hill, like where they're like looking from basically his perspective onto him,
Yeah.
like as in like they're hunting him, like like the
It's so
perspective
like
has been flipped.
situational
yeah,
how
Yeah.
like how everything can happen. I mean, that's also
Yeah.
what's great about the villain is like he's obviously one of the best like psychopaths you've ever seen. But to me, I think a lot of people like hype up just how random and just how chaotic he is, which don't get obviously he is, but like he's also bound to like money in a way that makes him like human. That I like he people think he's like ethereally like crazy.
Mhm.
He kind of is, but he also has like primary goals the same way Llewellyn does too.
Right.
You know,
He
like
has
Yeah.
with the money and with the objectives and with the crime and like
I
That's a
guess
good
it was
thing,
unclear
too.
to me. Was he like? I mean, he is like in some kind of like assassin, right? He's not just like some serial
It
killer.
seems
He's
like-
Hitman.
he's like a hitman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's just the cartel's go-to guy to get the
That's
shit
what I
done that needs
thought.
to get
Mm.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I don't know, he knew like too much shit on like what he was doing to be just some random killer.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like you see
everybody who
him
fumbled the situation, he just wiped them out. I mean,
Mhm.
he cleaned up the whole slate. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you see him get arrested at the beginning, you don't know what for, like how connected he is, and then obviously
Yeah,
they don't give you all the information, which is kind of like another way that this movie lives in your mind more, I'd say, where it's like you got to put those pieces together. It's like, who the fuck is this character?
yeah. I
Like,
kind of
how does
liked
he?
because like I didn't even know. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
how is he connected to the other shit? Like, because like
Yeah.
as the viewer, I'm just like in the same spot as Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck's
Who
the
happening?
fuck
I
are
can't
these
keep
guys?
up.
Yeah, you don't really learn that until Woody Harrelson comes in and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, it kind
I've
of
already seen
explains some
about this
shit.
guy." Yeah,
For sure.
it was a great setup too for the three first like major cuts. It was a great setup for the three main characters. I mean, you have Tommy Lee Jones's monologue. He's talking about the 14-year-old boy who basically was like, "I would kill again if you let me out today or whatever," and
Mhm.
I'm probably going to hell. And then it cuts to Javier Bardem's scene where
Just
he
murdering
fucking
the
kills the
cop.
guy, and like after he kills him, he has this like sigh of like, "Ah, that felt great," you know.
Mhm.
Really let off some steam. And then he goes and finds the guy on the road and he says, "Hold still." Cuts to Josh Brolin and he's saying to the deer, "Hold still," you know. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like a great
So
setup of
tight.
all these characters and lining
And
it up
then
nicely.
absolutely. And then once you get to Josh Brolin's character, like his introduction and like the leading into the plot of it all, that's
Mhm.
where I feel like you really start to just dig into that, like the story into that character. One of the moments I was just like, that is, I don't know, just so simple. You just have to like think about what a character would be and think about and do. Because when he shoots the round, he like picks up the shell and puts it in his pocket. Like maybe he's gonna like maybe he's conscientious about like what he's leaving or back, or like he just maybe wants the shell again or something. But like it just shows that this character is like thoughtful in ways that
Right.
you can like tangibly like latch onto, you know, like it, and that was just instantaneous, you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it makes his later actions make sense because he's making that conscious decision to either be resourceful or just clean up after himself. But then he gets to the scene and he's working it all out in his head. And like a normal movie might just have him find the guy under a tree, but like he's walking you through his process. He'd come out the way they came in. Where am I going to go? I'm going to look for shade. And then he finds the closest tree on the way out.
Mhm.
Perfect setup for the character. And it just
Yeah.
helps you, like, this guy is a smart character.
yeah.
And they
Yeah.
trust their audience to understand that, you
Man,
know?
like
Sure.
Mhm.
all three of the main characters, I feel like are just like
Oh, yeah,
They just make so
definitely.
many smart decisions. I feel like
Yeah.
they're just like such good, I don't know, such smart characters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
credit to the Coens for putting thought into their characters. It's like I
Mm.
feel like that's one of their biggest strengths throughout.
Dude, I even like kind of guessed that Josh Brolin like was a vet. Like when I lined up that it's in 1980 and like just how he was like acting with like I don't in certain situations, I'm just like, this dude is probably in Vietnam or some shit. And
Got
then
some
they reveal like
training.
20 minutes later that he's like a Vietnam vet, and I'm like, oh shit, that totally makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
Damn,
definitely.
nice. That's cool. I actually didn't even realize it was in the 80s till this watch when I heard that. I looked it up or whatever.
Same.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
speaks
It can.
to
It feels like it'd be
because they
modern.
said it's like
Yeah.
22 years after 1958 or something like
Mhm.
that, and then I just like added it up to 1980.
Yeah,
That was like
It's-
early in the movie, I think. Or
It's
something.
like what you
I
were
don't know.
saying, Joe, about like how it's such a like contemporary Western that it's so. It feels like all
Yeah.
the true Western origins, but so special in a modern way now. That's like I don't think any other modern Western has really touched this type of like feel. You know?
yeah.
No, I can't think. I couldn't think of any. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Another I think, smart choice that the Coens did making this was there's no score. I mean, there's a little bit of like
That was one thing I
a
noticed
little bit
too.
of a
Yeah.
score in the gas station scene, just kind of cuts in just a little bit, but it's just kind of like ramping up the tension with you, just a little help there.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no score in the whole movie, which I
Yeah.
think I appreciate. I mean, I feel like
I
allowing,
think it kind of fits.
yeah, I mean,
Like I think
you're
it doesn't
allowing
really. I don't know.
the
It's. I
story
mean,
to build its own tension because there's enough with these characters, and I don't know, the actual, the meat of it all is enough to make you
You know,
on
I
the edge
guess
of your
like
seat the
when
whole
you think
time.
about it too, like
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, which I think is like kind of shot similarly to this, also doesn't really have like any. I think it does have a score, kind of like for intros and outros and shit, but it's not really like while shit is happening. And
yeah,
I
when
feel
you're
like
out in the desert,
there's
you
kind of a
hear and
similar
feel
feel.
the desert. You know,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
it just adds to
Love
the
that.
immersiveness for sure.
Yeah,
I think
feel
like
it
all
just
it, in
works
the
that
intro,
way.
I was wondering just like screenwriting brain, like he overlooks the crime scene, which is a fantastic shot. Another writer would have, I guess maybe it's in the story, obviously, or in the book, but like, what if he came upon the shootout while it was like unfolding? Like he's
Yeah.
just like sitting there watching the guns go off. And I was like, that'd probably work. But like the silence of it, the actual like tension built from like no sound is like what makes that so immersive and
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah.
So it's like they definitely made the right decision. And it's just so cool how that like works, I guess, where like
Yeah.
minimalist is maybe the most effective if it's compelling.
Yeah, because like so you were saying, I mean, they're so smart characters that it makes the audience be like, like as the character's probably picturing like how this went down, what went down. That's in my mind. That's what I'm doing too. It's like, oh shit, some shit went down here. And I like. all
How
this
are we
wreckage is left
reacting to
behind.
it?
Yeah, what are we doing about it? Yeah.
Even there's a moment later in the movie where Javier Bardem's shot, he's like picking out all the shit out of his leg, which those are fantastic shots too, just special effects wise.
Yeah, dude,
and stuff,
he's basically like performing surgery on himself,
yeah.
Yeah.
like multiple times.
He blows up the car to go get the fucking medical supplies, and he goes to the hotel and he's like, the TV's going, and he turns the TV off to silence, and then he sits down, and I was just like, this is like the Coens are making like a concentrated effort to like put their characters in silence and make you like watch them. It's just so cool.
Yeah, you're just immersed with them. It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, looks like we got a comment, boys. My goodness.
Ooh, what we got?
Golfer Fungin says 2 things confuse me. One, it didn't really show Brolin's character being killed, and when the sheriff Tommy Lee is in the hotel room after the murder, and it shows Anton behind the door.
To the Brolin part of it, I think like the whole message of the story, like you're with Brolin the whole time and you're thinking the whole time, oh, this is the purpose, it's this guy, and is he going to get away with the money? But I think the bigger picture of it all is the humanity behind everything. Like his character is just another person in this world that's fucked up, right?
Mhm.
So it's just like
Yeah.
Especially with
the evil
with
of the
police's
world, and
context.
nothing matters except the humanity of it all, good, bad.
It parallels like Shigur's character, where he's like the 50-50. He's basically like the randomness and like the
Right.
cosmic like alignment of
Chaos.
situations is what he fixates on, and like how these things can like actually like coalesce to like whatever climaxes out of him, whatever he thinks is like the moment or whatever. So like it's very thematically tied to that. But I'd say to the Llewellyn dying in the motel room. The first time I watched this movie, that was exactly the moment I like struggled with this movie. Was like following Llewellyn for so long, and to like unceremoniously lose him in that way felt like I had lost something or something wasn't right.
Yeah.
I guess
I could totally see that. Yeah.
I guess the way I rallied it was like we are ultimately in Tommy Lee Jones's perspective in this movie. We start and end with him, and we have these great like riffs in the middle with these awesome characters. But that just proves to me that we enter that scene with Tommy Lee Jones, and he's our vessel for the story, which is like we don't understand the situation. We can't actually like
on the outside of it still. Yeah.
So it does work, and but I can agree, Golfer Fungin, that it is like shocking in that moment, and it's so like at first when I watched it, I didn't even know it was Llewellyn. You know, like
definitely. It's just like he seems so significant, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all pretty insignificant. You know.
Yeah, right. Like I almost thought he was the guy in the pool because like it's like the scene before he's dead. Basically, I think is like when Tommy Lee Jones comes to the motel. The scene right before that, I'm pretty sure he's at the pool talking to that other
just
woman.
arriving.
Yeah,
it's so
and
sudden.
like he's right by the pool. So I just thought he was like that guy at first, and then they showed the other body like inside the hotel room, and it's like obviously like him. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard to accept because that character's like you rally behind him so hard in this movie,
right.
you know,
especially after they're like legit meeting and conflict, like their shootout and stuff.
Yeah, that shit's so fucking good, man.
Dude, it's so badass.
Just like the second by second tension, just so fire.
It's just
him like having to buy clothes off
by the Coens to just not put it on screen either. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
they went for it.
Number one, bold
It
to
is
kill
bold.
off that dude, like probably your main protagonist outside of Tommy Lee, and then and also to not show it.
Yeah.
But to the Anton thing, I didn't. I mean, Joe, you said like it was probably at a different time, which makes sense to me. I also thought it might just be like a different motel room. He's like,
that's possible.
You know,
well, he like escaped outside of like he escaped through the vent because he saw like the unscrewed vent cover. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. Or at least that was the last shot of the scene. So I assume the implication was that he left through the vent. But like even in the shot that like he's behind the hotel room door, but you can see like the hole through the like deadbolt lock.
Yeah.
Like it's like shining in light, and then like half his face is like lit up.
Yeah.
So like I think it was just like a different time when he's just like waiting at the door or something.
That's how I took it too. I thought it was a different time. They're both returning to the scene of the crime, just like I forget who he was speaking to beforehand, but they had mentioned, he was insane enough. It was the guy who he was walking out of the diner with. He said he's insane enough to return to the scene of the crime. So
I
it was
guess
just
like
two
that
different
other
times happening.
like
parallel.
the first motel, he
That
was
makes
in like multiple rooms though. So I guess like it wouldn't be like out of the question if he was just in a different room. I don't know.
I mean, he could be there.
Yeah.
Like he's always like on neck right behind him, right on top of him.
Yeah.
But
As for the
I have to
vent
rewatch.
situation, I think that was just Anton looking for the money. Since that's where he hit it last time, I just figured he checked the vents to see if it was in there, possibly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably. I mean, that's what's great is like these little moments that you can like think of like, what were they? Because one moment just thinking back is like Sugar opens the door, checks like the room, and then he like closes the door and then immediately opens the door again and is like, it's just like this like methodical nature. It's just, those are the character moments you latch onto. Same with, it's just Coen's attention to detail, but also character with like the sawn off shotgun. And then you see him like actually like filing the barrel. It's like there no detail is left unturned here, and they add and emphasize everything when you add them in. Like
Same when Anton sits on the bed and takes off his boots, you think he's just getting comfy, but no, he's walking quietly to the next room.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Smart. Fucking dope.
For sure. I guess to cap it off for my final point is the Tommy Lee Jones speech at the end. When I first watched the movie, this was also a point that I struggled with because you have this epic cat and mouse tale, and then it ends very anticlimactically. I mean, extremely, But I guess you got to listen to his speech and really try to like parse what you think it means. I mean, obviously, it's like the title "No Country for Old Men," he's the old man. He's getting left behind, you know. And I guess like I just saw him become like infantilized in that last moment. Like obviously he's a guy that can't keep up with the chaos and the randomness and the darkness of the world. I don't know. It just rang the whole title, the theme, everything home. Like he's the old man, but when you age, you start to like feel like you're becoming like a baby, or like people have to take care of you. You can't keep up and shit like that again. Like I don't know. It's just this is a perfect encapsulation of the theme. It's not like there for you to just see it. You have to kind of think about it.
Yeah,
but it's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
The line where he's like, well, he talks about someone he served with, right? Who died young.
Yeah.
And he's like, technically, like, and
his
he's
dad,
like,
right?
Passed. Was it his
He's
dad?
like,
Okay.
yeah, he's older than his dad technically, or so he's like a young
when
man.
his dad died.
Mhm.
Good little like thing there. I mean, his dad even passed up his dad in age. I mean, the country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's
Yeah,
the
that's a
last
nice
stories
touch.
he tells are like his dad. He was looking for his dad for money, and he was lost. And then his dad was like making a fire out in the distance and was like going to help him or something like that. It's like he's like needing a dad now to like to guide him again. Yeah, it's just like sad in a way, but
Yeah, but it's very poignant and like
it is.
like you said, storybook ending. It's just a tight film, man. It's just well crafted.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
man.
I don't know. Do you guys have favorite scenes from this movie? Because I have like a couple that come to mind. The gas station scene for me is like fucking awesome for Bardem's character. It's
For
just like
sure.
holy shit. He's honestly just getting pissed off at like kind of like how dumb this guy is, you know? Like,
That dude plays it perfectly too off of him. Like the
Mhm.
slow danger he starts to feel, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of deaf, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Hey,
did
you know-
inherit it from your mom or whatever, from your wife's side or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene reminded me. I was checking out at the grocery store the other day, and as I was checking out, the woman was scanning my stuff, and I got stuff to make my own spaghetti sauce. And she was like, "Oh, what you making here?" And I just immediately was like, "What business is it of yours, woman?" You know. And I wanted to pull a coin out of my pocket right then and
This
there.
came here from 1962.
Just flip it. God damn.
I don't
What
know
what do I stand to
Call
Go
win?
to the self checkout. Jesus.
That would
I
help.
usually do to avoid confrontation, people
Mm.
talking to me. I try to avoid it all. But you know,
Sugar definitely uses the self checkouts now.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, smart man. I'm with him there.
Yeah.
I am with
That
him
one
there.
and when Shiger like blasts that dude's arm like off, like
Yeah.
it's like oh man, just the
His
visceralness
big
of
ass
that.
silencer on his.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
so
Like
badass.
the sound design in this movie, obviously, fucking you wouldn't be so
Yeah.
immersed without it, but
True.
fantastic.
I really like
Great.
the scene when he goes in and kills the. I don't know the guy's name, but it's the guy with the
Woody Harrelson.
accountant. No, it's the guy with the
Mm.
accountant. He shoots him in the neck, and then the accountant's like, "Are you gonna kill me or whatever?" And he says, "That depends. Do you see me?" And
Yeah.
like, of course he sees him, so you know he's going to kill him. But like, it cuts off, so it kind of leaves it up in the air because
Mhm.
obviously
Yeah, I was
you
like,
could
did
say,
he
"No, I
actually
don't
kill
see
him?
you," but he definitely did kill him because he's a man of
I
principle.
assumed.
So
Yeah.
He only leaves a few people alive. Yeah. Most everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like the first like hour of this movie is just such a perfect set of scenes that it's like almost one long scene. It's just so fucking great. But to cap it off, I think like my favorite scene and the most entertaining is when they are finally like in the streets with the guns pointed at each other, and like into the
Yeah.
car. He crashes the truck, and like just
Yeah.
the moment of him. Maybe the best moment to me is when he like runs over to the other car and then watches in the window as like Javier Bardem starts to like close in, and like he got the drop on him because he thought he was crashed. It's just, god
Yeah.
damn, so good.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
conflict
definitely.
there. Yeah.
definitely.
Well, it's a 5-star movie. Didn't really change. Didn't really think it would, but
I had it at 4 and yeah, I bumped it up a full star. I was like, yeah, this is tops.
Yeah,
Tops
there's
movie in
just-
general and tops for Coen. So,
Yeah, I also give it a 5.
This
That's
one
a-
in
that's a
Whiplash
5-star?
fight for my number 3 and 4 spot in my top 4.
Really?
So
okay,
yeah.
it's,
nice.
Every time I watch this one and Whiplash, they like switch because I watch Whiplash. I'm like, fuck yeah. Then I watch
Oh,
this one, I'm like,
shit.
fuck yeah.
Damn.
Wait, Whiplash is that high on your list?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh
That's a
shit! Hell
5-star.
yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
Whiplash. I mean, that movie's fucking good.
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons, that is the best performance
Yeah,
by
dude,
any
he's
actor
so good
ever.
in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hands down.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Miles Teller, low key. I mean, I don't know. Other than Maverick, I don't really know what else. Like both of them, just
Fantastic Four.
That's his best role.
yeah.
All right,
I
moving
think.
on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was Coen's this week.
Oscar-worthy.
Next week,
Yeah.
are we doing another double feature next week? What's the move?
Yeah, right. Serious
Sure.
Man and Burn After Reading, right?
Yep,
Cool.
those are the
Nice.
next
Those would be
ones.
fun.
Yeah,
That'd be fun, yeah.
two different styles, two different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Mixes,
I
kind
have
of,
my
yeah.
I have my movie chess picks too, but we don't have to do those right now. We
Yeah.
can do them after or something.
Yeah, we can. I do have some ready to go, but should we just move into what we got? Dune Part 2 talk, and then I did watch Shogun. If you guys want to talk
I
about
watched the first
Shogun.
episode of Shogun. I haven't watched the next two yet.
I actually
watched
haven't
the
watched Shogun.
No,
I've
no,
been watching
God
we'll wait on
damn.
Shogun.
Avatar and second season of White Lotus recently. That's kind of what I've been watching.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And second season of White Lotus is fucking great.
yeah, it's
So
good.
good. Yeah.
Some good shit.
But yeah, I'm curious to hear what's your thoughts on Dune Part 2 or
Before we get into Dune Part 2 and the Denis Villeneuve? Yeah,
Villeneuve?
yeah, that guy. In that same vein, I just rewatched Sicario before this, right before I got on here, because I watched it a while ago when it first came out, and I remember just thinking that was pretty mid. No, I get it
Same.
now. It's a 5-star movie.
Wow.
It's tight. Like the tension in that
It is.
movie is kind of insane. Like
Yeah.
from when they're crossing the border and then they're like waiting for which car is going to be the cartel car, and then you're just kind of like, what are they going to do? The whole humanity of it, like what's right, what's wrong. It's just great. It's a tight fucking movie.
It is.
Nice,
I need to
I'll
rewatch
rewatch
it. It's
it.
been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it being very clinical, but not in a bad way. Like
Yeah.
feels almost methodical,
Definitely.
like No Country a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely had the same vibe of the Western, but like
Mexico.
kind of, yeah, it was good. I don't know. I just really enjoyed this watch through. I liked it a
Nice,
lot.
man. Cool.
There's a second
I'm-
one too, right? There's Sicario 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes. I don't think Villeneuve's
David
involved in
Solano.
that one, but
He's not.
unfortunately. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. Villeneuve, man, he's hot right now. He's one of the best directors around, I'd say, honestly. But,
Yeah, and thinking on this, and I've listened to a couple people talk about obviously Dune. That's the hot topic item. But
It's
like
big.
you've seen Blade Runner 2049, right?
one
I was
time,
just gonna
yes.
say that's like I'm gonna watch both Blade Runners. I actually haven't seen either.
See, everyone
Nice.
is speaking about the spectacle of Dune and Dune Part 2, but like Blade Runner 2049, seeing that in theaters when I did, like I just went and saw it. Me and my friend watched the first Blade Runner, and then we were like, let's go see 2049. It's out right now. So we went and go watch it. And like that experience was incredible. Like
Nice.
for me,
Imagine.
that's the visual spectacle of the Denny
hmm
filmography.
Mhm.
I don't know.
He's got a lot, man. I mean, Arrival is a fantastic movie. Too.
Yeah, that too.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you see all of this in his Dune project too. I don't know.
You
It's
see the evolution for sure, or like
Yeah.
what he can do with like what he's given. I mean,
definitely.
we want to get into Dune Part 2, or do we, I guess sounds like
Yeah.
where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess like I'll just give a background for my personal Dune tastes. I've seen the old one, haven't read the books. I kind of thought the first Dune, like the 2021 or the first part, I thought it was kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie, I did not really enjoy it that much, and it
Yeah,
was-
listening to your guys' old review, it seems like you guys didn't really like it. But like,
Yeah.
it seems like you guys' only argument was that it kind of just like cut off willy nilly, which it totally did. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. I actually
but, like,
rewatched it.
from my perspective, like I just watched it like a couple days ago for the first time, and I had already bought my ticket for the second movie. So like, the ending really wasn't that bad for me. So I feel like the
I did.
movie wasn't that bad because
Yeah.
of that.
I rewatched it, and I agree. No, like having the two parts completed, it's a much better. Like
Yeah.
it's much easier to digest that way. I still think it cuts off in a second
it
act
totally
way
does.
where it just like
It's weird. It's a weird spot to cut.
it's a tonal like too much of a tonal shift, I guess. But like seeing how it leads into this one, I mean, it's like it's almost right after the first part. I think it picks up. and they just keep going.
Instantly, directly
Yeah.
after the first part, minutes.
Yeah. They keep going. They do more sand shit, obviously, but the sand shit in part 2 is more entertaining than the sand shit in part 1. So, I mean, I guess I was kind of mid. I was kind of hater on the first Dune, but this one is way better. It won me over. It's more entertaining. It's tighter. It's leaner, and it's just got more going on.
Yeah.
I had a great time in the theater watching this movie.
My Dune experience similar to yours. The first one is mid. I didn't really care for any of the characters, and I think that's what, to an extent, that's what the second one really did for me, was make me like enjoy Paul and enjoy his mom. Like those two characters, I thought were much more like I'm there for him now. Like before, it's like I have to be with these guys, and I kind of don't really
That's
get the vibe.
yeah.
But like with this one, she's orchestrating this because she has her own, Jezerib or whatever plans. But then Paul has actual vision. So I don't know. It's just it all works out good. So yes, I think the second one is better. It's still not like, I guess I don't get the 5-star hype behind
This
it
is
all.
like top
Like,
10
I don't
out
get
of.
that either.
I mean, it's
It's
going to go down
crazy.
in Letterboxd 250, but it's like top 10.
It's
I want to say
crazy.
right now.
Like
Yeah,
the
I wouldn't.
story
I
isn't
wouldn't
as
put it
like,
good.
yeah, it's the story of it all isn't as good as it can be, but
And
the
to be honest,
filming of it all is
I like the
fantastic.
story,
Mm.
but like like this movie does move quick.
Mhm.
But like I feel like they spent like a good half to 3/4 of the movie on like Paul refusing to like accept his
The
like
power.
role. Yeah, and like then there isn't really much that happens to persuade him to just go to the south. He kind of just does.
He drinks that
Like
juice, bro.
I was like,
And he fucking
yeah,
sees.
but it like he kind of there was no
worm
motivation for him to switch. Like I felt like it kind of just like came out of nowhere.
Mhm. That's
And then
fair.
I feel like that kind of deflated it for me because then I'm like, we just spent like 3/4 of this movie where he's just like refusing to accept this, and then he just kind of does.
See, I felt that
That's
way
fair.
too. I just felt more of like he was like, it's gonna happen regardless because he can see it unfolding. So it's like he has to make the choice, and it's either now or later that he's making the choice to
Actually,
do it.
I don't
Mhm.
know though if like the future he sees is like actually like going to happen or not. Because like I was actually like reading some stuff about how in the first one he has like other visions of shit happening, and in like this sequence where he's like wearing armor, there's like a similar sequence that happens where he's like fighting, and it's like reminiscent of like his fight at the end with the Knob Baron fucking
Baron.
yeah.
Fade.
And
Hey,
so I
brother.
don't know if like the future he sees is like actually like solid.
Yeah, I think it's like
Yeah.
ebbs and flows. Like some things are real, some things are blurry. It's like different people might be in. I think it's like gray. I think what the
I
movie does
know-
pretty well is like. Go ahead. No, I mean if you have a point.
I was just gonna say, I know in the book, like because of Paul's lineage, he's like born with some of those like powers, like the power of foresight a
Bene
little
Gesserit
bit.
or whatever.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit. And then when he drinks the juice, it basically just like fucking
Amplifies his
tightens
He
shit.
fucking took the
everything.
drugs, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's what
The
I'm feeling.
spice on top of the fucking
Yeah,
juice.
so-
like,
No, you've read like some of the books, right?
I've read the first
So like,
two.
what actually is the deal with spice?
Or over
It's
spice is
interstellar
power over life,
travel.
bro.
Yeah, it's used for like interstellar trap to like fuel ships and shit like that. And I think it's used. It's like in the books, it's like used for a lot of different things, but most of it is for like intergalactic and like speedy space travel.
Okay,
From what
so
I read,
like
it like
not
makes
as like drugs.
wormhole travel. I mean, drugs too. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's like, I mean, were they
we can
actually
get
getting
multiple
like
things.
abilities from the spice? Like that's kind of what I'm asking.
I
Like,
mean,
I
you don't go to
think
a gas
so.
station and like breathe in a little deeply, you know?
Yeah,
No.
You're gonna feel something. No, I think from what I know, I mean, I only like Google search Dune lore or whatever, but like, yeah, it like amplifies senses and like ability or some shit.
Yeah,
if you keep
Gotcha.
huffing it.
it
I
gives you,
kinda
like, a
assumed,
sixth
but-
sense a little bit of like, kind of that kind of
Okay.
thing. And I don't know if they set this up very well in the first Dune, but I know in the book the main reason Paul and his family are like they're assigned to Arrakis because it's like the shit assignment. No, it's like the emperor or empress assigned them there because the Harkonnens convinced them to do that, and because they want the Atreides family to like die out and
Fuck
like
up.
fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, it
Mhm.
was like basically like, well, I guess a coup isn't the right word, but I mean, it was a setup basically
Yeah.
to kill them.
For sure.
Pretty much, and then
Yeah.
that's like why the reason in the book, like Paul's dad is such a big guiding force because it's like, hey man, like I know we got the shit assignment. I see this desert planet as like so much more. And then
Yeah.
Paul like starts getting visions of like
I
turning
liked
this
that
desert
because
planet
like
into a
I feel like immediately in the
you know,
first one,
paradise.
like the Atreides, once they took over, like with Jason Momoa's character, he had like learned so much more information about the Fremen than like any of the Harkonnens like had learned ever.
Yeah.
Like when they were on Arrakis. So like
no one cared about Arrakis or the Fremen because they were like they're fucking savages and it's this
Yeah.
desert planet. And
I actually
fucking-
kind of liked the character. So here's my take, I guess. So like, I actually kind of enjoyed watching the first one, and the second one I did like. Basically, I was really into the first one because like I don't know. You guys have heard my takes on Star Wars and shit, and like I fucking hate ever since Disney took over Star Wars, and like this is what I wish Star Wars was. Like like dark and like kind of real feeling. And I don't know. I actually looked it up because, like, okay, Star Wars was obviously like taken from
A
Dune.
lot of this
Like,
shit,
and
yeah.
I looked up
Yeah.
like Frank, whatever his name is, like actually like
Herbert.
contemplated suing George Lucas.
Oh shit!
Like I'm not like surprised. Like you totally
you see
fucking
it.
should have. Like
You can see
Yeah.
it, like what he
Intergalactic
took and
politics and shit.
Yeah.
the oppressive force,
I
like the
don't. You have a
dark oppressive
chosen
force
one on a
versus like the
desert
lighter.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's definitely like honestly, Dune Part 2 at least, and Dune Part 1 by extension is like some of the best, if not the best, visual sci-fi I've ever seen. Like, it's
Oh,
just,
yeah,
you can't deny that.
I mean, it was so fucking cool. Like being in the theater, like there were times
Yeah.
when like you'd have like 10 minutes of straight just like noise going all the time when they're riding the fucking worms or something. And then like the next scene is like with the Emperor or something and it's like totally quiet in the theater. Like it was just a like complete change, you know?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it was
The
a
sound
pretty cool
design-
experience.
sound design
And
was
just like
amazing.
visually it was like so fucking good.
Did I mean just like obviously like the tech is a big focus, but like everything is so tactile in the Dune universe, and that's what is so great about it because you can like if like with the fucking Baron, the big Baron who's floating around with the big old balls, you can like hear the little like like things like pit.
Stuff.
I don't know that man. The sound design coupled with those visuals are just like epic. It's just so and the ships, like all the ship designs, like it's just fucking.
It's also like
great.
it's stuff that we've seen all the time, but done differently. Like them, like using zero gravity to fly is
That
kind
was
of cool.
sick.
Like when they're
Just the floating
Yeah.
up the rocks.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It's stuff
like
you've
no
never seen
jetpacks,
before.
but and then like the mines that are magnetic that just fly out of the sand. Those dope
Yeah.
as shit.
Oh
Hell yeah.
You know, and like one of my favorite parts of it was when we went to the to see Fade Ralph. Fade Ralph? Is that his name?
It's Fade something. Yeah.
When
Ratha.
Fade Ralph, yeah. When we go to his planet and it's the black sun
That's
and it
insane.
like the gradient change from like him
Yeah.
walking out and it turns to black and it's like seamless and it's just so I don't know. I would live in that moment in like the fireworks going off. I'm like, this is it.
Dude,
I love it.
Yeah, it
that
was
sequence is phenomenal.
yeah.
Yeah. The only problem with the CGI in that whole sequence is the crowd. It just looks like a bunch of beans hopping, but
Really, I didn't even
It's
notice.
alright.
I was just
I'll let him slide on that because the rest of
Okay.
it is just so good.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, okay, so like basically the first one I liked how they showed different planets and them being in different places and stuff. For this one, I almost got tired of them just being in fucking sand the entire fucking movie. Like I feel like it was so nice to like even just see the fucking just black and white shit like of hell basically.
That's
in the
why they
fucking
spent
Harkonnen
A
planet.
little more
Like,
time there, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
but
to,
like
get you out.
even at the end, so like the other noble houses or great houses or whatever did not accept his claim as emperor, correct?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and then the movie just kind of ended after that. Like I feel
Whoa,
like
whoa, whoa.
I feel
They're
like
going to
look,
send him to paradise, brother.
I'm just saying, if they spend 2 hours and 45 minutes on this fucking movie, why can't you just spend like 10 minutes of exposition? Like, I don't. It just ended. Like, I
Did
was
you
more
know Denny?
disappointed with this ending than the ending of the first one, to be honest.
Den-
Like, I feel like it just kind of just teetered out. Like,
I
Denny
mean,
isn't about writing. He's about visual
he
spectacle.
only
is
cares
yeah,
about
the
it.
visuals
That's
were
what he
so
said.
fucking good. Like, I get it, but like,
Yeah.
and most of the movie was good. It worked. Like, it went quickly. It actually did. Like, you have like one scene with like I don't know, whatever. I don't remember his name. The chief Fremen who like they want Paul to kill, so he becomes like that chief or whatever. Him and like Paul's mom, like, and he's telling her that she has to become the new like fucking
Mhm.
I don't remember the term, shaman woman person. And then like literally the next scene is like them transferring the consciousness to her. So I'm like, okay, this is at least they're like moving through shit quick. Like I feel like
Mhm.
that they did that kind of a lot, like where like shit moves
Just kept
sequentially
going.
like fast. But like I don't know. I feel like if you spend that much time doing stuff, you can at least spend a little bit of time
Definitely. I agree.
ending this
100%.
shit. Like
For sure.
There was those were the negative things I had about it was that towards like they spent a lot of time in the beginning. I mean, they did those quick cuts to show the passage of time, but as it started getting towards the end of the movie, it was more rapid. Like when Fade Camp comes in and just bombs the shit out of the Fremens. Like, why didn't the other guy just do that? Like, how did we get to this point to where they're getting sniped by the Fremens so where they could just be on top of their home and bomb the fuck out of them?
I
Mhm.
think
And then
so. Like the only explanation I would have for that, because like I kind of agree, is like the last thing that Dave Bautista's character does before he gets like they get like swapped, is like he finds their like base, I think, and then is in like a
okay,
sandstorm and they come out and like fuck them up.
Hmm.
And then I think they like know where their base is, and then
And then
after
he
that
takes
they
over.
come in and they just like try to blow the place up. But I
okay,
don't. I mean, that's like the only explanation I can have
yeah.
for it. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't feel like that was explained
And
well.
honestly, I mean, for all the visual spectacle, I think we could have had a little bit better of a battle sequence in the end. I mean, Josh Brolin and Batista going at it for like 0.2 seconds
Yeah, that
was
was the
kind
most
of
disappointing scene, I think.
Yeah,
And his
yeah,
delivery of
Really
like for
pretty
my
quick.
house and for my friends, I was like,
yeah,
what
cringe.
movie did I just enter? Yeah,
Who,
like
who let Denny write this shit?
yeah. Even the delivery, I was just like, you chose that one, okay.
Yeah,
But I mean, I guess
yeah,
my biggest gripes towards the end, I think it's kind of just like wrapping up kind of what you guys were saying about it, which is like the turn that Chalamet has after he drinks the juice, he's a different guy or whatever. I can accept that, sure, whatever. But like the way he like wraps up his own story, which is like, I'll marry that princess. I'll do, and it's like no one was asking for any of this, and like, why are they doing it? And like, why is this like the way to go? And then he does it all, and then at the end, it's like, yeah, they didn't accept that. So it's just like, what? So like, yeah, it's like, what did get resolved here, or like,
Yeah.
yeah.
there's more
Well,
books.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say that's like how I'm pretty sure I remember that's how the first book ends.
I walked out of the
Um,
theater like within like 30 seconds. I just like I'm on my phone googling, is there a Dune Part 3? Like,
yeah, there's like 6, I want to say, right?
I mean,
So
oh
I'm
yeah,
shit,
like
yeah.
I
I
have
mean,
4
are there like
since.
12 fucking books or something
Really?
like that? Like, there's a shit
yeah.
ton or something,
There's
right?
like the main series I think is 5, and then the author's son like did a separate series after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess my main concern going into the movie was, well, first off, I didn't like the first one that much, but my other main concern was, can he do it?
Yeah.
Can he become
I
the
saw your
ruthless leader?
comment on Letterboxd.
But my God, when he was doing the whole speech, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm with him. My man.
What
He's
is
the
it?
Messiah.
Yeah, what's the fucking phrase? The Samalal or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's
Lasan.
not Moha Adib. That's his name,
All
it?
right?
Yeah.
So,
It's like
mounted.
Lasan something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, for
but
sure.
I was just like, this is
It's
it. Timmy's got the juice for sure.
it's interesting because I just watched rewatched the first one today, and you see Timmy as like a young boy in that one, and like the
Yeah.
years that they took to make it actually served it because he like
Definitely.
seems to mature at least a little bit through that time and be like a better like I guess like commander of the scene.
Commander, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like
Dude.
the way they like from when after he takes the juice, I think it was when he takes the juice, the the way he was captured on camera was completely different. Like it was like power stances only and slow motion walks, and it was just like
I see the
yeah,
transition
I
change.
yeah. Before you get the whole silhouette of Timmy as like this stick person, but then after
Yeah,
that
I
he's
think
just kind of like
like even
He's
his
a
like
beefy boy.
even his like hood
Yeah.
changed to a darker
Yeah.
shade, basically. Like
Nice. Hell yeah.
But and I also think that Austin Butler, I've said this since I walked out of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but that dude's got it too. I mean, he's a
Yeah, I
great
gotta
villain.
say, I was like, one of my biggest concerns going into the movie was Austin Butler. Like, no joke, because
Really?
like he's a fine actor, but like after Elvis, I find him to be quite cringe because he can't lose it. He can't like be something else. And to me, and like, if that's your voice, man, cool. But I don't think it is, you know. But like, so in Doom Part 2, I'll eat my words is what I'm saying. He fucking killed it. He's like doing a Stellan Skarsgård impression that's spot on.
dude, I was gonna say, I'm like, is there real Skarsgård? Are there two
Right.
Skarsgårds in this movie? Like
It's really fucking good. And there's not a hint of like his other characters. He's this psychopath. His little like jolts of like his like fucking like just going for it moments really landed too.
Licking shit, killing
Yeah.
people randomly.
His like
Okay.
psychopathic character, like the turns, like the literal just like moves he was making, and this like you don't expect them second to second, and it's like it's really effective.
Yeah. Like one of the better scenes with him was when Timmy yells silence at the one bitch, and the way Austin Butler reacts is just like, damn.
I like
chill.
that. Yeah.
But,
It's
yeah, no,
interesting too. I guess do you got something to say about Butler?
No, he was because one of my other gripes was I felt like the Harkonnens were kind of lackluster in this one. Like they're supposed to be like this super smart, I feel like smart and like evil force, but they were just kind of meh until Fade comes in and he's like the answer to that gripe of like,
Right.
here's what they can be. Let's put it all into one character. So
I think they're just trying to like condense and like simplify.
Definitely,
like
definitely,
because like Dave Bautista is like the highlight or like the golden boy of like war in the first movie, and then in this movie he's like a chump, you know. So it's like they gotta just like what's
kind
that?
of seemed like a punk ass bitch and all
He
of
is
it.
kind of he's just like yelling in the first one too, kind of being stupid. But like it's the moves are like easier to digest, even with like Javier Bardem's character. I actually liked the comedy that they brought into the character. I think it actually made that character work in a way for me that it didn't in the first. But it's also kind of like servicing the movie in a way to like let you have levity in with his moments, so you can like get more serious with Zendaya and shit. You know, it's like it's the trade off that makes the experience better. But
yeah, definitely. I think what was nice about the comedic stuff that Javier Bardem brought was like it didn't feel forced. I don't know, like he was just having fun, so we were having fun. Like he was like waiting for the moments to like hopefully this prophecy is gonna work out, and then if it didn't seem right, he was like, oh wait, no.
Yeah, or he's like when
that's gonna work out
Paul's
even more
like,
now.
I'm not the Messiah, guys, and then he's like,
too
only
humble.
the Messiah
So
would
humble.
say that. Like,
Yeah, that shit worked for me for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
The Zendaya
when he calls
stuff.
his name is the little mouse, and he's like, oh no, this is a perfect name. He makes his own water.
Yeah,
okay.
right. So smart. Yeah, the Zendaya stuff. I think if I were to cut time, which honestly I was thinking about, I always want shorter movies nowadays, but I was thinking, you know what, I don't think I would cut anything from that movie. If anything, I think you could add stuff just to deepen it for future viewings if you want.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I usually would say the opposite too.
Right.
Just like cut shit. Like
right. It feels like the follow up to Lord of the Rings, where it's like this epic tale that most people haven't read, or if you have read, you're like this diehard fan, and now it's done to its most maximum effectiveness. So like I can see it on that level, which maybe a longer runtime would have served it a little bit, but.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool,
dude. So like, I went to the Alamo and they were showing like clips of previous Dune movies. So I did see the like blocky shields. They look
hell yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, those are terrible. The
They look
1981 or whatever.
bad.
Yeah, it's like Minecraft, right? It's basically just like rectangles.
You know, I will say one of you guys' gripes in your previous review of the first one was that like shields started to like not really matter, and that kind of like was the same in this. Like, especially in the like, well, really any sequence where they're like fighting,
Hmm.
I would assume that like the Harkonnens have shields on
Hmm.
most of the times. Like they say, like don't turn your shields on sometimes, but like most of the time when they do have shields on, they like don't matter. Like people just stab right through them.
I
Except
think
for
it's
like the
like
one time
techniques
that
or
like
whatever the fuck.
the Dragonfly helicopter had a shield on, and they're like, "You gotta wait until they shoot, because that's when the shield's down."
Right.
You know, but like then you just
forget
see
about
like
the
later in
shields.
the movie where just like somebody totally just like blows up a fucking helicopter with a shield, and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?" But they weren't shooting.
Yeah. I mean, the Dune technology is cool to me because I read a little bit more. And it's like 10,000 years ago, there was like a AI fight or some shit,
Yeah.
and like they won, and now like
At the
computers
beginning
are
of the first
outlawed.
one, they like say that there's like no like computers and shit, right?
Yeah. So it's all very like manual, I guess. And the way that like they get around
I think
shields
that's
is
cool.
like it has like a slow eating. I don't know what you know, probably know better, right? Noah? Like it can like vibrate into it on a very like molecular level or some shit. I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that's how it's described in like early on in the book is like the slow blade is what can penetrate it
Right.
because it's concentrating on just like repelling anything that's
Like a
trying to like
hit.
forcefully get through it.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
quite honest,
That's like in Star Wars, like the Rolly droids, they're called droidicas. They have like shields, and that's like how you go through those too.
So
Another way that where they're
Lucas
just
is a
ripping off
fucking
Dune.
hack.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the family relation too is kind of another ripoff. I mean, it's not like your father, but it's your
Yeah,
fucking
and like,
uncle
what's
or
up with the
whatever.
sister?
You had your
I
father
mean,
moment for sure in this one.
Yeah. Right?
oh yeah,
Like you die like an animal or whatever. Right? Is that the moment you're talking about, or?
When she's like, "Yeah, my dad's
Martin.
actually
Oh yeah, I didn't
what's
know
his
till
nuts."
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
a while
Baron.
back. Yeah.
It was like gasp. I actually went, "Oh shit!"
Really?
Yeah,
That
was
to me like
kind of
convoluted it in
wild.
a way that I was just like,
Or that you found out that Arrakis is actually called Dune.
they said
That's
it.
the name of the movie.
They did it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what I was struggling with at like after the movie, and I think like other people have like tried to like say it's only this or whatever, is like this white savior like argument about it, where I mean, like, what's the message of Dune? Like, I was like, I came out of the movie and I was like, what is that about? You know, like, and I guess it's about like coming to terms with your own abilities and like being the man of the people. And the way that story is told is like this outsider comes into like this indigenous land and like becomes the messiah of their people. That's like a white savior like story, I guess you'd say. So I think what the movie did successfully is that with Zendaya's character, she's the most tedious character and the character I want to spend the least amount of time with, unfortunately. But her like walking out at the end actually like means something with that whole conflict, because to me it's not like Timmy's the savior of the world. You can read like it's supposed to be read that way, but it's also supposed to be read as like a cautionary tale for like letting a guy get away with it, or like a power hungry man like just keep going. I don't know. So like it's a little more gray and a little more nuanced
I
than
think it's
that.
because he knows that like I mean, if like the future that he sees is actually like going to happen, then like he's gonna murder the fuck out of like a shit ton of people in the galaxy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, and he knows that.
Right. And he's accepting his own power in his own like his
Destiny.
yeah,
And
but
like,
in
well,
a
I
dark
guess like
way
she
too.
knows that too, though, because like
Right.
she's like the only one that he told that to, like the dreams. So like,
True.
besides
Yeah.
maybe his mom, but
It's
like,
interesting you say that, like that's how you read it, because that's definitely basically what happens by the end of the second book is like Paul becomes the new emperor of everything. And a lot
And
of
is it
fucking
for good?
spoilers, dude.
Sorry, man.
I'm
Sorry,
just
but
fucking with you.
Is it for good, or is the book as like as gray in that regard, or is it like written back in the 60s or whatever, where that is a more cut and dry, like just
No,
easy
I
story?
no, I definitely think you're on point because in the book it very much frames him as like the second book. Pretty much like the theme I got from the second book is like power corrupts, basically. Like Paul is the savior,
Right,
everyone
yeah.
accepts him, loves him. He like fulfills his destiny, becomes the emperor, and then now has to deal with all the backlash and shit. And it's like, how does he deal with it well, or is he going to be like this Iron Fist asshole
Okay.
who's
Yeah.
like, I can see everything, I know what's the best way, the better way,
Mm.
or is it, in his vision, is like the best way for him, to
Right.
survive and keep on
And be the most
and then-
powerful guy in the fucking yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I found it to be deeper when I thought about it more, and especially in Dune Part 2, Denis Villeneuve is like making Zendaya be that conflict, or like, because if she was just like, go Paul, go, like it would just be, it wouldn't have that. It wouldn't have like the meaning behind it. So I'm glad all that's in there.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a big thing in the second
I
book
mean,
too.
there's
Is
still
like
a hint
marry
of
the Empress. He's still married to this Fremen girl.
Yeah.
Like where do loyalties lie? That kind
Yeah,
of thing.
okay.
Like, there's still like a hint of like she's just, I don't know, disappointed that she can't
She's
be
got-
with him.
Yeah, well, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like,
That's there too. The butthurtness of it all. Yeah. But
I'm glad to hear that you guys have like that the second one like picked up the slack from the first one, because I was a
Yeah.
little worried after the first one it being so mid.
I think
and
it's just you
loving the
get the
books.
payoff, you get the character growth, you get like, and
More world.
rewatching the first one, I love Jason Momoa. I think Oscar Isaac is a huge highlight of the first part. He's great in that first part.
I wish we had gotten
Um,
more of him in the
yeah.
first one.
And to be quite honest, I like this actor a lot. We just talked about a 5-star movie, but Josh Brolin, and to me, doesn't really like. I didn't even like him really in both parts. Like, he's fine, but it's just not like, and especially in the second part when we kind of take the diversion with his character to come back and do all this.
was it
legwork.
just the for my friends part, Matt? Was
That did not help.
Turn you off to the whole character?
That did not help. But just like, I guess like in the 2-hour 45, I don't need to. His character, his performance, his parts didn't grab me as much as the other stuff.
He's like Paul's like combat trainer and sort of like
His like link
Yeah,
to
other
Atreides'
father figure.
house a
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
serves that. I just like, maybe it's just Josh. I want Josh Brolin, maybe a different actor to try a little more on it or something. I just saw Josh Brolin kind of, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
I will say too, just like something I thought of, I guess. Did they shoot like atomic bombs near the
Did,
like,
right?
like
I mean,
just
that's
they
what I
shot like
got.
3
I
of them
thought,
near the thing, right?
Right next to it.
Like, what about the like nuclear radiation?
It's 10,000 years, bro. They ironed the kinks.
They worked
of the
out all
bugs.
I don't-
yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe, but they call them atomic bombs.
They're atomics. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you get away. with that.
Imagine bringing
Yeah.
your warheads to this planet and just dropping them off at random spot in the desert and being like,
Right,
yeah.
that was the
this should
same
work.
thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Also, I don't know if this was a joke or if this was just like expediency of the plot, but there's a title card where it says Arakeen, and like you see the city for the first time, and in every other like movie or any other story, it's like, oh, we got the establishing shot, we got where the city in, now we're going to spend a scene in here and learn them, and we're going to get into the city, and it's literally just Arakeen, and then this whole city just blows up, and that's literally all you see of Arakeen, and it just moves on to the next scene. And
Wow.
this is,
Okay.
so like, to me, I like laughed at that because it's like playing with the tropes of like movies where it's like, now
Wait,
this city,
get into
and
the
it's
meat
just
of it.
fucking gone. Like,
I mean,
That's
like,
pretty cool.
is it just because they just like show it like as Arakeen and then it blows up? But I mean, because like,
Yeah.
I remember a couple times that they like flash to the city of Arakeen and they say it's Arakeen. So
I
it's
don't-
not
it's
like
just-
just that there's
I only
one
remember
shot
the
where
one
they-
time.
Okay.
Okay,
but
because
it's-
they did it multiple times. I do remember that.
I don't know. That time, it just like landed in that moment as like, I don't know, that I was waiting for more information, and the information I got is that everything is fucking destroyed. Like, it's just good.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I know in the books there's like a whole section where it's like Paul, everyone's worried about like Iraqian spies colluding with Harkonnens in the city and stuff like that. So I don't know if there was any of that in the second one, but that's kind of funny that they
I guess like that's like
dropped the bomb on it.
something else I was kind of confused about. Like it would have to be through like spies and shit. Because like how the fuck does Paul send a message like with his father's like signet ring seal to the Emperor? Like how does it get there?
Yeah, to like shoot the nukes off or whatever that he said.
Without
or to like
the
go to.
Harkonnens like knowing about anything. Like
That's a good question. That's probably just in
it would have to be the
the
spies or
book
something,
somehow.
right?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they have like a secret.
But we're not concerned with writing in this movie.
I
mean,
I just like
all
thought about it
visual.
today. I'm like, how the fuck did he get that letter? Like
Yeah. I had to Google too because like the Dune, the universe is very interesting to me. But I was just like, how did ships get to Arrakis if we can't travel like, without the
like
spice?
how we're like
Yeah.
humans on the planet. Basically.
How did they
like,
get
how did
there?
the Fremen get there? Yeah, I thought about that too.
And it's just like probably slower travel, and like then they get spice, and then they realize they can like hyper travel or whatever the fuck. But
Sure.
yeah, right. Yeah, you don't
Sure.
worry about that shit. It is wild though that the quote I read of Denis Villeneuve like last week, where he's like, "Movies are for visuals, like television is for like dialogue," or something. He said something along the lines of that. I was just like, I read it to be very like, I don't really want to say
Condescending.
it
I
was
think
like
he's just making up for his lack of like actual meat in the story.
His lack
He's
of
like,
dialogue, as we can flash to that one scene with Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Like with the fucking fight for my friends.
that's why he doesn't
I mean,
write long scenes.
I don't think he has any writing credits like in his
Yeah.
movies. I don't know if he hasn't written any of his movies, to my knowledge.
Sure
don't think
likes to
so.
show off that he's the director, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, the
He,
thing
he
is,
had to.
that's what
Like I feel like he had to show it like so many times that it's like directed by Denis Villeneuve or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like it says it
That's
like
what I-
4 times.
But like watching Sicario, definitely like a good writer, and then he definitely captured everything that Taylor Sheridan wrote perfectly. Same with Prisoners. I mean, if you can
Yeah.
get good material, sure, he doesn't have to care about the writing. But like Dune being his project, I feel like you care a bit more about like the story of it, not just like cool sandworms, watch them go. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Although
Man,
that
the
sandworm
The
sequence was
like
one of the
finding
best
more
moments
shit
in the
about
movie, right?
like the sandworms. Yeah,
Yeah.
the sandworm stuff was cool. It was pretty neat.
Hell yeah.
I mean, obviously, visually, it was
So also another
it was
thing.
great to watch, but
To
Like-
say
It's
that
like a
dialogue
good
doesn't
story.
matter though is wild. But
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That
It's
is-
an insane thing to say.
So like Paul has to fucking ride a sandworm as his like he's
a
like
Fremen.
in
He's
you
a
know that's like
Fremen,
his
yeah.
last test, and then like an hour later, like Gurney is on the back of a sandworm, and he's not a Fremen, and like not through their like training or anything like that, and he's just riding on a sandworm.
Is he
like
like
there.
riding it?
No, he's just on the back.
Okay, I think they
With the rest of the
use
people,
it for
because, like,
travel too.
They just have like a shit ton of people on the back, you know.
Yeah.
My question is, how
I
do
don't
they get off the sandworms?
That's a great
How do you
question.
dismount?
Like that's what I was wondering. Like, how do they get on and off with that
Hmm.
many people? Like,
Yeah.
Especially
They
when they're, like,
break the
they got-
sandworm.
Yeah. Hold
They
back on the
power slide
reins.
it to a stop.
they just keep
Yeah.
going around in a circle.
They
Pop off!
get somebody to hang out in front of them and go click in their face, and then it slows them down. And
Hmm.
yeah.
Dune questions.
Yeah, those worms are
Don't
fucking
ask
scary.
me.
But we're not when it comes to Dune, we're not really concerned about the writing of it all.
Yeah, but also those worms, if they're like swimming through sand all the time and their mouths are like always open,
Wide open.
do they just like always filter out the sand?
That's what I was wondering too.
And like, how do they move that fast? You know, I just want to.
Little- what are those called?
I want a biology lesson on the sandworms.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
Makes
guess you
me
don't
think
really
of
see
Tremors
those little like,
when I watch it too.
Dude, holy shit. I saw like there were like 5 fucking trailers before this movie, and like most of them were bad. It's like a third Quiet Place movie, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing, guys? And then there was like
day one, bro.
Twisters. Did you guys see that? Like
Yeah.
trailer for
Glenn
Twisters?
Powell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it.
Like what the fuck, guys?
Absolutely.
Why? Why would you like?
Yeah.
I love like the original's good, but like why?
Because
would you remake
twisters
that
are still
shit?
relevant, Joe.
I mean, yeah,
still
it's probably
experience
more
Twisters.
relevant, but like I don't know, man. Just like I don't
It
know.
was
Yeah.
it was
Make a
funny to
different
me.
tornado movie. Like you don't have to call it Twisters. Call it
It
like
won't. It
I
won't
don't know.
sell.
Tornadoes, and you can make it goofy. I don't know, Goofy
You
Storm
know,
Chasers. That's like
I
almost like Twister, but like you don't have to make it the exact
It's
same.
just a
fucking
rip off of
thing.
Twisters. Fuck that movie.
Sure, like I don't know,
I have
man.
this
You
Like,
can't please
bad-
everybody, Joe. That's what I'm
I
getting.
guess I just like I come up with something original. I don't fucking know, man. Like
That's fair.
Hey,
yeah.
another trailer I saw that I'm actually really excited for, Civil War. That's original.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm very
Wait,
excited for that
are you
movie.
you're actually excited for that?
That's like one of them out of this year. That's like one of the most interesting movies I think for me so
Damn.
So
far.
it's just
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't know.
historical.
Honestly, I don't.
No, it's
find,
like
I'm not
futuristic civil.
interested
It's like American
in that
Civil
at
War
all.
nowadays. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
that's just like a. I mean, a lot of people like say that's gonna happen, so it's interesting like to visualize it or think about it that way. But yeah, it's original. It's got great cast, a great like filmmaker behind the helm.
Yeah.
That's good shit. I'm ready for that one. What other
Texas
trailers?
and California secede from the nation together.
Yeah, and then the Florida Alliance or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second trailer that I saw before this one, I'm more interested. But honestly, the Twisters one, I wasn't on board until I saw Glenn Powell in his white T-shirt and cowboy hat, and I was like, okay.
I mean,
alright.
he's got to be the
Yeah.
dude.
And they showed his
son,
truck.
right?
Yeah, he's gotta be.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. The Glenn Powell hype, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
He hasn't
It's the
proven
same-
it to me.
It's like Sydney Sweeney's hype. Like, come on, let's be honest. We all know what the hype is, and it's
Yeah.
not her acting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we'll see if Glenn can break out of that image. But
yeah. The
Anyway, back to
Deadpool 3
Dune.
trailer.
Dude, what's our ratings on Dune here, guys?
I'm gonna give it
Let's-
4
let's just get past
stars.
I also give it 4.
4.
I gave the
Yeah.
first one 4 too.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I bumped it up to 3.5.
I'm at 3
But-
for the first one. I'll rewatch it eventually. But
Yeah.
It's better as a 2-parter, 100%.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Way better.
I can definitely see that, especially since the second one picks up like moments after the first. I can definitely see it working a lot better.
Yeah, just
But,
having
like-
like a day in between is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to experience it in the theater.
But
Yeah, I'll go see
realistically,
it
still
again
coming
next
out of the
week,
theater
so-
was disappointing.
You're gonna go see it
So-
again?
Yeah, we don't have an IMAX theater down here, so I'm gonna go see it in IMAX next
I was
week. I'm
actually-
gonna be up north.
Thinking about going to see it again in IMAX because I did
Yeah,
not
they were
the first time.
Playing it in
Yeah.
70mm at the music box. Like I don't
That's
know.
sick.
Yeah, but like the music box has like so shitty seats, and
Yeah.
I went to go see Oppenheimer there because it was also in 70mm, and it's like I don't know, I'm sitting for 3 hours in a fucking theater in these like shitty ass seats. Like I don't want to do it again. Like I
That's
can't.
fair.
Like
That's fair.
yeah, I don't know. I did go to the
IMAX
music box
seats
to see
are
something
pretty
else
bad.
though. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
got much to say about Dune. If you want to talk about some other shit, or we can sign off. What do you guys think?
I did
Yeah,
watch a
besides
couple of the movies,
Sicario, I
but
didn't really.
not too much.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
just
shit.
on that Avatar flow.
Is that? Oh, oh, I thought you were
Oh,
frozen.
Yeah, I thought you were frozen.
I
Yeah.
was for a second.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really liking the live action Avatar.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I mean, the last episode I just watched was basically like the Spirit episode where they go to that village and
That one's maybe the worst episode, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just did not. The one before it wasn't bad. The one in Omashu,
hmm
but yeah, that one I was just like, what the fuck?
That one was like a patchwork of whatever they had left over, and
Like some
You know.
stuff's good of it,
There was
but
some
like
shit in Korra like thrown into it, and I was like, what?
Mhm.
yeah,
Like, why are we? Yeah.
yeah, some
Yeah.
stuff just doesn't really work that well.
I just can't connect to Aang or Katara either.
dude, I told you, man, it's
They're not very
they're
good, yeah.
bad.
It's just bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Sokka's like, I can
He's
bear
trying.
it enough. Yeah, like he's doing okay, but yeah, man, it's just Aang. I just can't take seriously, dude. There's like no
Mhm.
emotion. Like he's trying way too hard to like be like
Yeah,
filled
he's a
with emotion.
performer, dude. Like I was like,
Yeah.
that's a theater kid, man.
Yeah, it's not. It feels like he's like trying to, like he's stage acting. Yeah, and it's not working. And,
It's hard.
which sucks. But
Yeah.
Iroh and Zuko, I don't really mind.
Mhm.
Their story's a little bit better right now. but I don't know. I'm debating whether or not I want to finish it, or I'm just like good on it. I don't know.
I mean, you already kind of know how it ends.
Yeah, you're not really left in
Yeah.
anticipation.
And I'm just getting like flashes of Percy Jackson in it, you know, where it's like that with the acting and everything, and it look honestly the bending, all the like the special effects, it like looks
It's-
really good.
Special effects are good. Yeah.
It's like pretty good, but the acting, the substance is just not there. It just doesn't feel.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. Stick to White Lotus. I'll finish that because that's been
That's a good
such
show.
yeah, such a fun watch.
Yeah.
And the first season was good, but the second season is like even better.
I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah. But that's really all I've been watching. I haven't watched much else.
Nice. I saw that you watched Bottoms.
Oh yeah, we did. I watched that with Manuja. Fucking hilarious.
Dude, that
though,
movie is so
dude.
good.
I was like nonstop laughs like from
Yeah.
that movie.
That's one of the best modern comedies I've seen in years.
I
Honestly,
think
I'd
Manuja
highly
does
recommend.
something similar. Yeah, it was good, man. It was so goofy at the end too, like so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like takes itself seriously until it doesn't, and then you don't even care that it's not anymore. You know? And then, yeah, it's good shit.
The fucking whatever that dude's allergic to, is it like pineapple juice or whatever the fuck?
Yeah. Coming out of the sprinklers or whatever.
Yeah, I thought
We
it was
can-
hilarious. Like when they're fighting I don't know they're fighting the football players on the field, and then the school's team, the actual football team, is like
Like
they're
off to
not
the
fighting.
side.
They're,
Yeah.
they're like sexually fighting. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
It's like
Yeah.
so goofy because like they never take off their pads. Like they're always in their like full like football
In
pad
class.
uniform. Yeah, in class and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's good. I would highly recommend that one to anyone who wants to laugh.
Same. It was great.
Yeah. Also, just wanted to make a note on the podcast that I watched all of Spike Lee's movies, 22 movies in a row.
Yeah.
Binged them in 2 weeks. So,
Ooh.
you're
Oh,
welcome.
was it like more of a
But were
slog,
they
or
all
were
in
they
a row?
I watched I watched them all in a row except for Inside Man and Malcolm X, which I'd already
Oh,
seen,
I guess I was
and I
just
watched
more
those
like-
at the end.
Did you watch them? Did you watch anything else in between those? But yeah, it's just being
A little
an
bit.
asshole.
But not much. I was on a grind of watching like 3 Spike Lee movies a day. It was kind of gross. But pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I would check it
What
out.
the
I'll check him out. He's a
That's a
pretty cool
lot.
filmmaker. It is a lot. But I do it at work too, so like I'm just on the
Oh,
clock.
we're live
grinding
right
for
now.
it. Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. I just want to give a little spiel about Spike. You got to be on
Yeah.
board for that style of filmmaking or his like ideas and his own comments, I'd say. But once you get on board, he doesn't get enough credit, honestly, as being like a pioneer of some like techniques and stories and stuff like that. He was making things before other people were making things. Like there's a movie called Clockers, which is exactly The Wire. Like it's like, oh, let's just do Clockers for HBO. Like, and like seeing stuff like that, it's kind of mind blowing.
Alex
Like-
is pissed right now.
It's true though. That's why it's cool. And he has
Have you
like a lot
finished
of
The Wire, by the
different.
way?
I watched 10 episodes of the first season, and now I'm taking another break. I watched
Damn
like
it.
4 episodes at a time, and I'm like, I'll get back to it.
Alright,
But,
sorry. Continue with your Spike.
No,
Lee.
yeah, that's. I wish I could be binging it harder, but I'll get there eventually. It was good. I like it. But just seeing like Spike Lee's origins for it all, like his style is really fun and cool, and he's a smart guy. He's a very like angry guy in his movies, though. It's pretty cool to watch. If you're gonna watch one of them, I gave him 1 5-star movie. Didn't know if I was gonna. Malcolm X is a very fantastic movie. I gave it 4.5 again this time after rewatching. And that's his second best movie, I think. There's a movie called Bamboozled, and I had never heard about this movie until I went through Spike Lee's shit. And it's about like a TV exec who is like pissed off at his boss because he doesn't get like black people. And then he's like, you know what people are really gonna love is a black minstrel show. So let's do like blackface and like do the like he literally writes the most like racist show you could ever write. and he's like
American Fiction, the one that just came out this year.
I guess
Or they
yeah,
want
that's,
him to be like the
like be
black
more
writer that
black.
Hollywood wants.
Yeah, that's a, yeah, kind of akin to that, or like a spiritual link there. I'd say for sure. This one is way more like aggressively like in your face, like Spike Lee. Like he's like, it's fucking like assaulting at some points. How like racist is written by a black man though, so it's all like perfectly like chiseled in a black man's like mind. Which is why I gave it like 5 stars, is because I was getting like information straight from the fucking source, like about like thoughts and like perspective and like the comedy of that movie is so fucking on point. And why I loved it so much is because I can 100% see like Atlanta, like all these like different influences of like satirical like black stories. It's like whoa, like watch Bamboozle and you'll see like Donald Glover in it. It's fucking great. Really good. But I liked a lot of his movies. They're all pretty good. There's some fucking bad ones. Whoo, there's some bad ones, but there's some pretty good ones too.
Did you like the Black Klansman?
That is my 5th favorite. I think I ranked it. I did like that one. That was like his most, I guess, like cinematically like normie movie. Like he's kind of like doing he got nominated for awards there, where it's kind of just doing the movie thing with that one. It is very fun, and the story is very fun. It doesn't like feel like Spike Lee's voice that much in that one, but it's a very good movie.
It's one of the only ones I've seen a couple of his, but that's one of the ones that I have seen I liked.
Inside Man's my number 3 still. That's just one of the best like heist movies. It's one of the most entertaining heist movies, I think. Just fucking good. And then Do the Right Thing is number 4. I'd always heard that was like his best.
Yeah.
I could see people saying that.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. It's very good. And that's like peak Spike in the 80s, 90s, where he's like got his voice solidified and he's just giving it to you. So that's why I think people really love it. He's just got other movies like She Hates Me. She's Gotta Have It. His first movie.
Yeah.
It's like a similar vibe and a similar setting, and it's almost better. That's why I don't think it's his best. Do the Right Thing is his best, but really cool. I'm glad I watched them all. I did not watch the Old Boy remake. I skipped that one. So I'd already seen that one.
Gasp.
Yeah. I don't need to go back to that one. If I'm going to watch another Old Boy, I'm going to actually watch the original because I haven't yet. So
It's on
I haven't
Netflix
either.
now, so
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'll give it a go soon. Now that I've finished him.
That's cool.
That was
I
my
know,
grind.
Yeah, Spike Lee. I mean, he's a director I'm actually like very curious about and interested to watch more of.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's
yeah,
very
I'll probably
distinct
get
and
that with you.
different. Like
Yeah.
all of his movies feel like different. And he's like trying different things.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to say like he's obviously like the most like famous black filmmaker, but like he's not appealing to like anyone's like ideas or standards or thoughts on like what he should make. He's just making a movie that he knows that he will love to see, and vicariously like other black people would like to see too, or if you just like movies
Yeah.
too. But
he's
Yeah.
definitely got his own voice
mhm,
everywhere. So
for sure.
and his own opinions.
Yeah. Pretty cool dude. Pretty cool movies. Probably gonna start another binge on another dude next if anybody wants to join, but I don't know who it's gonna be yet.
Yeah, let me know. Did you
wondering.
say you were doing Spike? Because I definitely would have done that one with you.
No, one day I just like popped on a movie and I was like,
Gotcha.
just took off. So
Fair enough. Yeah, let me know which one you think he'll do.
yeah, I'll give out some options for sure.
Cool.
Any other comments? Anything else? Or
Do we want to pick our movie chest real quick?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Dude, this
I'm
one was
loaded,
like
so
yeah, okay, let me get this. This was like a lot of good ones, I thought. A lot of ones I wanted to pick.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple on here that are well, one in particular that I've been meaning to watch for a long time, but as long as we don't get stuck with another White Men Can't Jump, I'll be all right. For the love of God, please.
I have one on here,
Uh-oh. All right, I'm locked.
but
and
I'm
loaded.
ready to go. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got the right one. Where did you post it? Movie chest, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right. I was looking at the old ones from last November. Okay, I'm ready.
You need a minute, Noah?
I just gotta get my last one in, and then I'll be good. Okay. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Fire away. So
Holy
you got
shit.
a few
Okay.
options, right?
You got Troy or Tron. Looks like Weekend at Bernie's and The Insider.
Yep. We want to spin a wheel or what?
Yep. Let's spin it.
Yeah.
Random wheel.
I almost put the assassination of Jesse James on there.
That's the one I've been meaning to see for a long time. I just haven't gotten
Yeah.
into it.
I just
Alright,
want
so
to fucking
Tron.
watch Nashville, guys. Is that so much to ask?
What is
Yeah,
Nashville? What the
it
fuck? I
is.
never even...
God
Yeah,
damn
what
it.
is Nashville?
It's like a 70s movie by Robert Altman. Apparently one of the best movies of all time.
Alright,
Dude, I'm
let me
waiting for
share my
Top Secret
screen.
to come up
Mm.
because
Yeah.
that will get all of my votes. That movie is so fucking fun.
All three. All right, let me watch this.
Yeah.
Let me see the spin here.
Yeah, that way you guys know it's not rigged.
All right, I'm in.
Let's
Ready?
do this shit.
Assassination of Jesse James on.
Fuck me. No. No.
Another white man can't jump situation.
I almost like it.
God. All right, it's been a long time coming for Weekend at Bernie's. That's fine.
Fuck me. Okay.
Fine.
All
I haven't seen
right.
it before, actually.
You haven't either.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen it.
Nobody
I
has here
just-
then.
I watched it on a plane.
Oh, you saw it? Oh,
I
shit,
have seen it, but that's why I wasn't sure if you guys had seen it, but I do like it.
If I was
so-
trapped on a plane, that would be probably a better situation, but I won't be.
I will say, when I
Oh.
was watching it on the plane, the guy sitting next to me was like, "You watching Weekend at Bernie?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Fucking great movie."
And the legacy.
"Huh?"
I
Yeah, yeah.
That's
actually,
why it's in the movie chest.
are we still live?
Yeah. You want me to?
Okay, well, I
we
don't
got
know if
secrets?
I can do next week.
Okay.
I forgot I'm going up north and I'll be on vacation. Like,
Oh,
away.
shit.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
No,
Where
you're
you
good.
going for
Yeah.
vacay?
Do you want to just skip or pick a different day, or what are you feeling?
Is there any time?
It's in like we
could-
can. I don't
Do
know.
the
We can
week
just wait
after.
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're on
mean, I
vacation,
can-
don't worry about it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try to squeeze it in, but yeah, I mean,
it's all good.
Yeah.
Take your
definitely
time.
good.
Take
Take
your
a little
time,
off.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
We've been on it. We've been on the grind here for a few weeks.
I'll catch up on Shogun too because I kind of want to know you guys'
Yeah, I can do
opinions
that too.
on
I do
that.
Yeah,
want to
for
watch
sure.
that.
I think I might
Considering
watch
it's
that
kind
other.
of the hot show right now.
It is.
Yeah.
True.
It's cool. I've been digging it. What else is on, you say, though?
I've been meaning to watch. I don't know. It was like the HBO show that started off after True Detective.
Regime?
Yeah,
Is
the
it?
Regime. I think.
Yeah,
I haven't really
heard a
heard
couple
anything
things.
about it like after it started, but I think it's only going to be like a couple episodes. So I don't
Maybe
know,
I'll check that
just-
out, too.
Yeah, maybe I'll just binge
See.
it.
Invincible in 8 days. Hey, yo.
Oh hell yeah!
The Gentleman in 3 days. No,
Oh, shit. I haven't even looked at that one. Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to that one. Guy Ritchie's writing it, so you know.
I'll check it out then, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm also going to check out Fallout in a month. That looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll check that
Yeah.
one out too. I'll do it for Fallout reasons.
Hell yeah. Well, stick around if you want to hear more on that and The Boys in like a few months.
Oh yeah, like June and
nice.
July or something.
Hell yeah. And
Oh
Hot
yeah,
D.
I saw Hot D comes back in
Yeah.
June.
Hell
Yeah,
We got quite a few
The
cups
summer's
coming
gonna
here.
be fucking busting.
popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Stick around for more talks on those subjects. Have a good one.